Hi. My name is Daniel. This short video is actually is to do a self-reflection of my progress in an online platform or learning platform that I'm undertaking with the the Open University of Cyprus. Actually, this is my second time of undertaking an online course in my life, and coincidentally, it happened that both the first and the second online programs that I've undertaken are both with the or the Open University of Cyprus. So, as I said, this short video would help me to actually do a self-reflection on my learning progress so far on this online program. What have I learned so far? The major thing that I'm taking with me on this program is actually with getting myself familiarized with certain resources that are available to be used on an online platform. Such resources include this particular one, YouTube, which I've been so lucky. Of course, I've heard about YouTube before, but actually this is my first. This video is actually going to be my second time of having a YouTube video. This first one also happened to have come from my participation on this same online platform with the Open University of Cyprus. So what have I learned? As I said, I've learned about tools that are needed in an online learning environment. One of them is YouTube. I've learned about wise mapping. I've learned about Padlet. I've learned about WordPress. In fact, all these online learning tools that I'm talking about, it's not just I've just learned about them, but I've actually had a chance to practice to use these online learning tools myself. I've used Padlet. I've used WordPress. I've used YouTube. I've posted videos on YouTube, of course, for the very first time in my life. For YouTube, I'd heard of YouTube, but I'd never used YouTube before. As in to post a picture. To post a video. This is the very first time, and I think it's something that I would carry along with me. Another thing that I've learned on this journey is getting to know also about the community of inquiry framework. It is a framework that is largely used during the online learning sessions. This is a framework that for the very first time in my life I heard of, and actually did some readings on them. On that particular framework. What of course, this framework talks about three main things. Talks about the cognitive presence, talks about teaching presence, and talks about social presence. These are all, if you like, items or issues that are needed to aid or to facilitate in the online learning situation. Among these three items, if you like, my favorite is social presence, in that it allows you, both the teacher and then you, the student, the students, your learners. It helps them to be able to express themselves, feel freely, their emotions. You get to know their emotions through these expressions. I think it's something that I would like to carry along with me if I ever get a chance to practice or to design an online program, because it's as I noticed, it was really a huge challenge for me to get onto that platform and to constantly practice. I constantly post comments. Sincerely, I hold a different opinion about posting of comments and then using those comments as yardsticks to measure how students have learned or how they haven't learned in the program. I believe such posting of comments may, to some extent, encourage unnecessary competition among students or among learners. it will be fine for me if in future, if I want to design any online platform, design any online course, I could encourage my students to post or write, but I wouldn't necessarily, assess my students based on, their comments that they post on the platforms and what have you. Okay, having said that, how practicable is this going to be for me to practice an online or to design an online course and to have it practiced in my own country, Ghana? It's going to actually be a very huge challenge, because currently the internet penetration levels in Ghana are not that great. And so by the name itself, online, for any online program to take shape, that internet accessibility actually plays a very key role. And currently the records are not so good for Ghana. Ghana ranks about 144th in the world, with a internet penetration level of about 12.3, and this is hugely inadequate. And so in a community or in a country where a lot of people don't have access to internet, it becomes very difficult to want to practice any online program. And that will be a very huge challenge for me going forward. And aside this challenge, as I mentioned earlier, I've learned a lot of things, and once I don't get to practice these things that I've learned via online knowledge, they say once you have it for a long time, you don't get to practice, you don't get to exercise that knowledge that you have acquired. At the point that knowledge may decay. So I've studied these online tools, I've gotten abreast of certain content as far as certain methods as far as online teaching is concerned. But the fear now will be that it might be a challenge for me, because if I don't get to practice, if I get back to my country where I don't get to practice, there will be that tendency of the knowledge that I've acquired, there will be that tendency for that knowledge to decay. But all in all, I think it's a good thing to get to know other perspectives and get to know this online program. Thank you.